Warm welcome back, and these are momentous times we find ourselves in. Education, and on the other hand, we have COVID-19 ravaging the entire world. Schools have reopened, but what is the way forward? We're going to be delving into that as we bring you live reports from across the length and breadth of our country. And, of course, we'd love to hear from you. Don't you forget to reach out to us with the hashtag #AMShow, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We've put posts out there. Do respond. Let us know what you think, what your thoughts are as a parent, as a student, as a teacher, as whoever, a concerned Ghanaian. And to kickstart the live reports we're going to be bringing you, we join Kweku Asante, who is at the Kotobabi cluster of schools now, and he's going to be bringing us up to speed on what exactly has been transpiring there. Don't you forget, yesterday, the little tour we took shocked all of us because, in fact, a lot of them were not wearing the mask. Kweku Asante, take it away from there.
School just reopened, and Kotobabi Providence School is in full flight. You can see a number of students just reporting to school with their parents, and the staff members are also around just in time enough to be able to check these students and ensure that they are adhering to the protocol. The president, in his Sunday address to the nation, that is the 22nd address to the nation, noted that he is expecting and he's counting on students and teachers as well as parents to play their role in ensuring that their wards and their students are paying attention and protecting themselves from COVID-19. Schools have just resumed. Schools were actually supposed to resume 15th of January, but these students were supposed to use this period to prepare themselves and come back to school. And so here at the Kotobabi Providence School, so far you will notice that the COVID-19 protocols are much in place. They are checking all those. So we'll go to some parents shortly. We'll speak to some students as well as some teachers who are around and ensuring that the students register. When you come in, you are giving unique numbers, and we would ask some of those questions and see how that is going. So, hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Please, can we have a word with you? Okay, so just this man, as you can see, checking the temperatures, ensuring that before you are able to enter the compounds of the school, your temperature has already been taken, and that you are wearing your masks and all. So this woman of Providence School Limited here, JHS, here at the Kotobabi, ensuring that students are going through all these formalities and ensuring that they are very much safe. And you can see there, wear your nose mask, no face mask, no entry. A lot of inscriptions all around here where they are taking the students' temperature. They just take your temperature. They give you a paper indicating the temperature as they check from the thermometer gun. And so a lot of things going on very much. And you can see the Veronica buckets, 2 of them here in sight, and a lot of others also in there. So here at the Kotobabi Providence School, all these are much in place. We'll try and talk to some of these teachers and parents and see how well they are preparing and how well they are receiving these students for this academic year. Students have missed a lot of time in the house. They spent close to 8 months in the house since the president closed schools in March of 2020 due to the outbreak of the coronavirus, and most schools are now returning to school. So the queues are forming. A lot of students are coming in. Let's talk to some of the parents who have come around. So, hello, madam. Let's take a word with you. Are you a teacher here, please? Okay, so far we realized that you guys are ensuring that the students are going through all these protocols. Have you had any challenges so far?
Yes, yesterday I had an interruption with a parent who said she has bought a lot of face masks and she's wasting time on face masks. So she wouldn't take a new face mask from me. So I asked her to stand by. He said he's coming to pay school fees. And I said, then you come tomorrow. He said, because of school fees, I don't want the money. I said, I need the money, but protocol must be observed. So I had a little challenge with him, but God be the best. We are moving on.
Right. So do you anticipate, these are little children, do you anticipate that you're going to have problems ensuring that they put on their mask at all time? And what measures are you putting in place to ensure that these students wear their masks throughout and they pay attention to all the protocols?
Well, looking at yesterday, for instance, especially KG2, KG1 students, I went to the classroom and somebody said, my friend has removed the face mask and he has stepped on it. So I need to give him another one, who is on my course. I have to pay another one. Going around, wear your face mask. Some have taken us as a lie. They will put it here and they will come. I said, wear your face mask. Some will be like, but we are having a lot of challenges. We went around yesterday to ensure that the face mask must be put on, especially the parents. the parents, we are very difficult to handle with the parents. So we are pleading that the parents should also observe the protocol so that our wards can also observe the protocol. Right. Thank you very much.
Right. So this is a teacher here at the Kotobabi Providence School, and she is telling me some of the challenges she had yesterday of a parent who was coming in and saying that they were not going to put on a mask because they've bought a lot. And so you just saw this kid, in short, putting on her mask and ensuring that all the protocols are taken. We wanted to speak to some of the teachers taking care of the thermometer guns and ensuring that all these students are checked. But of course, parents ought to know that they have a responsibility to play in all this. And so if you are coming in, you must ensure at all times that your children are masked, and you ensure that they are paying attention and washing their hands and going through all the protocols. Okay, so we'll speak briefly to some of these students. Hello. Please, what's your name? Nazifa, you've been home for a long time. How excited are you to be back to school to see your friends?
I'm thinking good.
Yeah, good. Please put on your mask, okay? You have to put on your mask at all points, okay? So Nazifa here, quite excited, feeling good about the prospects of returning to school after 8 months and over of being in the house. And so all these kids, quite excited. Hello, come around. Please, what's your name? Damien, put on your mask. How excited are you to be back in school? Are you excited to be back?
Yes.
What class are you?
Class 6.
Class 6. Okay, that's good. Okay, so study hard, okay, and always put on your nose mask and ensure that you are paying attention, you are washing your hands, you are taking the thermometer, you are taking your temperature, okay? Okay, so Damien, excited about the idea of coming to school, putting on his mask, and taking his, getting his temperature check. Let's go in. Let's try and speak to some parents. You just see at the office the teachers and the officials of this school trying to ensure that all their kids are masked up and the temperature is being taken. Let's go up here where some parents and some staff members are here. Hello. Please, are you parents or you are teachers? Your parents. Okay, so far, have you had any challenges since you've been here?
No.
You've not had any challenges?
No.
But how safe do you think your child is coming to school at this point in time?
That is my worry for now.
So what will you be doing about that?
I don't know what to do because you cannot ensure this one to keep the nose mask on all the time. He's a child. She's a child. You understand? As you leave here now, you don't know what she's doing in the next minute. Since the teacher is taking care of about 20, 30 children, you cannot make sure that everybody has their nose mask on. So I don't know.
But have you had a word with her? Have you tried to talk to her and say that this is the situation we all find ourselves in and try to put this on?
There will always be children. You will say, they will say yes. But you leave, they will do another thing. You see, that's my biggest problem. Right. But I hope God will help us.
Right. So this parent here just bringing his girl child to school. She is telling us about his worries, about the idea that these are kids, and although you can talk to them and say that you must do this, you must do that, the moment you leave them, then they probably do something else. But they are hoping that the Almighty God, as well as the teachers here at Providence School, will ensure that the children are always masked up and the children are paying attention to the COVID protocol. So there's a shop here where there are enough masks on sale. And so if you bring your child in today and your child is not wearing the mask, they can buy some for the kid here before they are allowed entry into the school premises. They've made a barricade of tables, as you can see in your shot, a barricade of tables with 2 men holding thermometer guns and ensuring that parents and students, as well as staff members who are coming in, are checked before they enter, okay? So you wash your hands, they take your temperature, they write your temperature, they have an inventory, have a list of all the names of the students here. And so you come, you mention your name, and then they put the temperature that they check from the thermometer gun there. And so, yeah, the Providence School, things really seem to be in place. But before we even came here, went to the Kotobabi cluster of schools. We were not allowed to film because of the bureaucracy and all that. But even there, public school, the protocols were in full flight, where a few kids were turned away to go back and buy masks and wear them before they come in. And so, yeah, the Providence School, things are going on well. Hello, let me speak to some of you. What's your name?
Firdaus.
Firdaus. what class are you?
Class 2B.
Class 2B. So, how excited are you to be back in school? You've been home for a long time. You're excited?
Yes.
So, ensure that you wear your mask at all times, okay? And
Okay.
ensure that you keep a good distance from your friends, all right?
Okay.
Okay, so that's Firdaus telling us how excited she is to be back in school. Please, what's your name?
Siam. Siam.
Siam. So, Siam, what class are you to?
Class 2B.
Class 2B. So, you're in the same class
Yes.
with Firdaus. Okay, so you live at Kotobabi, right?
No.
Where do you come from?
Newtown.
Newtown, right. So, Siam comes from Newtown. How excited are you to be back in school?
We are back to school, but you have to wear nose masks. To buy, if you don't have some, you must to buy. To buy to wear.
Right, so Siam here saying that they are back in school. They are expecting that all their friends will wear their nose masks and ensure safety. So let's go down. Let's speak to some more parents who are coming in and see what their responses are. Let's go here and let me get to some of the parents and check what they are doing. Hello, please, what's your name?
Please, I'm William.
William. So you are bringing your kid here.
Yes, please.
And so, how satisfied are you so far in terms of the COVID protocols and how things are put in place here at the Providence School?
Oh, I'm satisfied because I've seen that all the protocols here have been observed, so I think it's okay.
Right. So you actually think that your kid will be safe if they are brought in school?
Yes, please.
Right. So these parents also confident about the idea that their kids will be safe. Hello, mommy. Pacho, please, what's your name? Your first name?
My name is Bola.
Well, okay, so your kid is also here.
Yes, I'm just bringing my daughter.
Is this the first time they are coming in?
Yes, please.
So you've been looking around, you've been seeing the protocol.
So, Kweku Asante, my colleague, reporting there from the Providence School in Kotobabi. Of course, the Kotobabi cluster of schools not allowing us access to actually interact with them. But let's cross over to where Rafiq Salam is standing by. Yesterday wasn't a very positive picture. Let's find out what is happening in Wa this morning. Rafiq Salam, if you can hear me, what is the picture today? It appears the connection with Rafiq Salam is not the best, but at least from what we're seeing today, some improvement on yesterday. I was indicating that some think tanks have indicated that for them, they would want a cessation to this entire reopening process to allow for the Ghana Education Service to actually facilitate access to PPE, among other things, in the different academic institutions. But it is rolling ahead. So all we can do is ensure that adherence is actually taking place from the perspective of parents, from students' perspective, and from all of us, even outside of these institutions. We're also trying to connect with you. Some of you have been sharing your thoughts with us on social media. We'll try to actually put that out there. But most of all, we're all being very cautious and expecting the highest of standards as our schools reopen. So we're working to reconnect with Rafiq Salam and our other correspondents that we're actually going to bring on board. Rafiq, if you can hear me now. Rafiq Salam, can you hear me? Okay. So we're still going to try to reconnect with Rafiq Salam. Sometimes the Zoom connections are tricky. We'll see what the phone lines will bring to bear on this specific subject. But to all of you watching this morning, of course, the reopening of schools, educational activities can't come to a cessation owing to, COVID-19. But even as we reopen schools, the point is, how do we stay safe? I'm sure you've followed in recent times how some teachers, for example, have perished with regard to COVID-19. So we're trying to avoid all of that. But Rafiq, what can you report from WA as it stands now, today, and adherence to the protocols?
Okay, today I can report to you that the situation is better here in the Upper West region. Just behind me, you can see two trucks from Tobinka entrance, and they are carrying several tons of hand sanitizers to be given to the Upper West Directorate of the Ghana Education Service. So the situation in the Upper West region today, I can tell you that it's far better.
So, Rafiq, the situation you say is far better, but have you been to any specific institutions today? Yesterday, you went around some of these academic facilities. Have you been by any of them today? And what really have you seen as of this point in time?
Yesterday we reported that close to about 99% of the pupils were not wearing nose mask when we visited schools like War Model, Tindamba, and then other class of schools in the municipality. But today I can report to you that the situation is better. Most of the students or pupils are adhering to the COVID protocols, and so that's why I report to you that it's even far better. But they told me that at least they are still waiting response from the GES, and then they will bring the nose masks and hand sanitizers. And so like I reported to you that it's good news for them that their trucks filled with these hand sanitizers coming into the region. So the situation in the schools is far better as compared to yesterday.
So the citizens, I mean, those in were on the back of the reopening of schools and all of that. How have they been responding? I mean, as parents and all of that, because yesterday we had some of these students coming and claiming that their parents had not given them masks to wear, had not provided masks for them. What is the understanding now? Are parents still waiting on government to provide masks before their children mask up? Is there any further sensitization in that respect, an improvement in terms of the approach?
It's their belief that yesterday it was really a snack, they hit a snack because they expected government to provide these hand sanitizers, the nose masks or whatever. Once government failed yesterday or delayed in providing these items, some of the parents are forced to take their hands into their pocket to get these items to their house. But speaking to most parents, they were really worried about the situation yesterday, and because they are saying that it's not all of them who can continue to afford for these kids to be in school. And so today, they are really elated that at least government somehow has made them halfway.
Rafiq Salam reporting there from WA. Thank you for bringing us up to speed on developments in that part of the country. We're going to connect now with Cassandra Chum Ampofu, who's the PRO for the Ghana Education Service. They are the helm of affairs. They are actually facilitating this. We're going to be finding out from their quarters what the latest is and moving forward, how we can forestall some of the challenges that we've seen thus far. So shortly we'll connect with Cassandra and take the conversation from there. So Cassandra, a very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us on the AM show.
Good morning, Benjamin. Many thanks for having me.
Great. So let's start from the standpoint of what we're seeing thus far. Some of the scenes from the schools. From yesterday, the pictures we saw, no adherence to the protocols. What exactly were the measures put in place before the reopening of schools from the standpoint of the GES? And did you foresee this happening?
Many thanks, Benjamin. Let me first indicate that the fight against COVID-19 is a collective responsibility. Yesterday, we had indications that some students were even going to school without masks, and they were expecting to get a mask in the school, which is correct. In fact, distribution of all the PPEs are ongoing. But as a parent, we also acknowledge, or we also urge that they also take the health of their wards. It has to be their concern. And at least a mask before they enter the school, how we also share what government has provided for us. Yes, we have put all the necessary measures in place. And yesterday, from the schools that we picked up some teams, we have engaged with the directors and the teachers there that they have to be involved in ensuring and supporting the students to observe the protocol. Because if the teacher is enforcing that, then it means that the students will also heed to that advice or that direction that they have to observe the protocol. So for us, the PPEs are ongoing. In fact, it has gotten many of the schools. And I acknowledge that some schools have not received yet. And we have also engaged our teachers. But we just had pockets of issues, and we are hoping that moving forward, the teachers will also help, and then the parents will also help us their children are coming out of the house, they ensure that they put on their mask.
Now, Cassandra, I'd like to find out from you. I don't know whether the lessons have been learned properly, because we've had some 9 to 10 months when these students have not been in school. Going back to school, the thinking was that we would have the PPEs ready before the schools would be reopened. I know now that some of them are being supplied. Our, correspondent in WA just mentioned that. I know, for example, in other areas, the Laboni secondary or senior high school is one of those points. But why did we not have them ready before the reopening of schools to forestall all of this?
Benjamin, let me say that, we call the third and then the second year. There are some of the schools that already they have some resident buffer in the district. So what we are currently doing is a top-up. When the third year went, something like Veronica Barker distributed, the second year who vacated in December, we also sent, and so we are topping up. And the schools, the number of schools that we are dealing with are large. And looking at the tax conveying the PPs and all of that. So they are ongoing, and I'm glad that your reporter indicated that it has touched base in their various districts, and we are hoping that where it hasn't gotten to, it would reach there as soon as possible. But again, what we are also advocating is that let us all get involved in ensuring that these students are safe. We will do our best when they get to school, but parents also have a responsibility in ensuring that at least once your ward gets out of the house, you tell him or her to mask up and to observe the protocol. We come, and then when they get to us, we also support them.
What are your expectations, Cassandra, with regard to timing? How long do you think it's going to take to ensure that every academic institution that is operating currently has the necessary, complement of PPE, if you'd like? How long is it going to take?
Today is Tuesday, and so we are hoping that by the close of this week, all PPEs would have reached the various schools in the country. And then the sanitizers and masks would have reached all the over 10 million students that's both private and public that we are hoping to share.
Now, some of the reports we've got have been very worrying. In terms of supervision, what exactly is the Ghana Education Service doing? What have you been up to thus far? And what do you plan doing in coming days and weeks as schools have reopened to ensure compliance with the necessary protocols, to ensure that even the PPE is actually being distributed? What are you going to do to ensure that?
Hello? Please, can you hear me?
Cassandra, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
No, I think I lost you wrong. I didn't really get your question.
So can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Great. I am just asking, what in terms of supervision is the GES going to be doing to ensure compliance? You distribute the PPE to the schools. How do you ensure that they're actually using them as they ought to?
Yes, of course. And so as I speak with you now, I have just gotten to Nima Cluster of Schools with my bosses, and including the unit support. We have dispatched all our officers into the various regions and communities, including districts, and we to monitor and to go and check what is happening in the school. So just like we did for the first and second week course, that's the third years who went to write their final exams, and the second years who went to complete their semester. We just didn't sit in our offices. We distribute the PPEs, and then we follow up to ensure that indeed the PPEs have gotten to the schools and they are being used by the students and the teachers. I am at Nima Pasha right now as I speak with you. And the same thing. Here to observe my first day at school, and again to ensure that the PPEs and everything have been monitored, and then the students are in their mask and doing the right thing. And so we do monitor, and we will continue to monitor.
Right. Cassandra, right before I let go of you, there's something else that yesterday struck me. It appears in some communities that you may call a little deprived, while the schools have reopened, observance of the protocols, even among teachers, might be a bit of a worrisome situation. Is the GES observing some of these? I remember, scenes from Wale Wale yesterday, and it didn't paint a very positive picture. Is the GES identifying any of such areas that could become hotspots for the virus and maybe putting in more effort to help such institutions?
Absolutely. So it all boils down to monitoring and then supervision. So these areas I personally had, those that I saw on TV and those that your colleagues also engaged me on, I had to quickly get in touch with the district directors to tell them that these particular teachers must be up and doing there. You know, we have asked our teachers to support them to observe the rules. And so if you go to a particular school and there are teachers and then you don't find them supporting the students, then it becomes worrying. And so these spots that we have seen or we have identified, yes, we pick them up, we will engage, and when we get other places, we will engage the district directors to engage the heads so that they step up their monitoring and they support them to observe the rules.
Well, Cassandra, thank you for the yeoman's job and thank you for actually engaging us this morning from the Nima cluster of schools. We wish you the very best. Cassandra Chumampofo is PRO for the Ghana Education Service. But moving on from there, let's connect to Natalia Kwanzaa, who is in Takoradi and who will be actually telling us shortly what exactly the scenes are there. Natalia, if you can hear me, do tell us whether there's any difference between what we saw yesterday and today. Any improvement?
Actually, with the public schools, like yesterday, I indicated that there was vast difference when you go to the public schools compared to the private schools. The private schools yesterday were really compliant with the protocols, but today, moving to about 3 public schools, I've seen that the students are compliant. It's better than yesterday. You have I can say about 75%. But as compared to yesterday, which was just about 10 to 20% who were compliant. Today, most of them are complying with their face masks on, water provided, and even some of them having their own hand sanitizers in their bags to school.
So let me find out from you, Natalia. Has there been any engagement from the end of the GES? I mean, in terms of supervision, what do you see? Is it the school authorities themselves that must ensure compliance? Is the GES bringing anything to bear when it comes to supervision in Takoradi?
We talk about the protocols. I know GES, the regional level, has distributed some of the protocols in terms of the face masks, the hand sanitizers to some of the schools. And then head of institutions are making sure with in some schools they have set up a COVID-19 team. So these team leaders are making sure that the temperatures of the people is checked before they take them through their hand washing process. And then when they get into class, they make sure that social distancing is being observed. And then I have also had information from these students that yesterday, for instance, what the teachers took them through was what COVID-19 is. Even though they have seen it, they've had it whilst they were home, the teachers took their time to take them through what it is, the effects, and how they can make sure that whilst in school, they can be safe.
Right, so at least better developments, as far as mask wearing and the observation of the protocols is concerned, and that is Natalia Kwanzaa in Takoradi, also letting us know what exactly is happening there. So it would appear that the picture from day 2 is better than we saw yesterday. Yesterday actually broke my heart, but it appears today, from what we're hearing, better, an improvement in the adherence to the protocols, at least from the GES end. We've also heard that more will be done. With cases rising across the country, we cannot take anything for granted. So at least this is what we've brought to you this morning when it comes to the reopening of schools, and we'd also be sharing some of your thoughts as the day draws on. We take a bit of a break here, and when we return, of course, we'll bring you Showbiz with Kadi. Do stay.